Okay, can you learn to have one drink? This is a question I get asked quite a lot. So this is for people who have previously had a problematic relationship with alcohol. So either when you drink, you overdrink, or you're drinking regularly. Either one, it doesn't matter. It's causing a problem for you. And you want to know, can I learn to have one drink? So there isn't an easy answer to this. It's a very individual thing, and there are quite a few things to consider. The first one is risk and impact. So if you are somebody whose drinking is high risk, so you risk of death, overdose, physical withdrawal, significant physical health problems, mental health problems, risk to others, you know what I mean by significant risk, then it's preferable to be alcohol free for as long as you can. That doesn't mean that you won't be able to have a drink at some point in the future, but we have to balance that on risk. You know, is it worth it? So for instance, I was a daily dependent drinker. My drinking was putting myself and others at risk. So being alcohol free was definitely the way forward for me, and I reaped the benefits of that. However, I did practice having an occasional drink, probably about 7 years in, just to see if I could do it. I don't drink at all anymore. So yes, it is possible, but it's a very individual thing. Just because it's possible for me doesn't mean it's possible for you. Yeah, there are other factors involved. So sort of length of time. There is no specific time frame that we can say, if you do 3 months alcohol free, then you can learn to have an occasional drink. You know, how everybody learns how to reduce, take a break and stop drinking is slightly different. There are similarities, but it's a very individual thing. Some people need to just stop, some people can't stop, they need to reduce because of the withdrawal, and some people just find it easier to reduce. You know, it's whatever works for the person, and also what's recommended by the alcohol practitioner. So some people I work with will reduce and they'll build up those alcohol-free days, and they will get it down to having an occasional drink over a period of time. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Whereas some people will find it easier just to be alcohol free for a period of time. Now, mindset is part of this as well, how we think and feel about alcohol. So a huge part of this is doing the work. That's a whole other video. What is the work? Oh my God. So educating yourself about alcohol, understanding what it is for you, understanding why you sort of got into a bit of a problem with it. There can be many reasons for this. It can be super simple in that it's just legal, socially acceptable, readily available, aggressively marketed to you. It's easy to get into a pattern of over drinking, or there could be a root cause. Now, it's really useful to sort out the root cause, whatever that may be, and that can be a huge part of those mindset shifts that help us make changes. Yeah, so when we look at reducing our drinking, having a bit of alcohol-free time, one of the things we talk about quite a bit is triggers. What causes you to drink, what causes you to overdrink. And this is the same when we're thinking about I've successfully changed my relationship with alcohol, I've had a bit of alcohol-free time, I'm curious, can I have a drink? So one of the things I get people to think about is people that you drink with or overdrink with, places where you drink and overdrink, times of day, times in your life, you know, your lifestyle, the drug, and different thoughts and feelings around this. So for instance, if you are somebody that when you go to a certain place with a certain person, historically you would have overdrank. Now, we definitely would not suggest that's how to test out having an occasional drink, yeah? So part of it as well is about how you set it up. There's lots of things you can do to help yourself, you know, changing your drink. If you are somebody historically that has had a problem with wine, then I highly recommend when you're reducing and you're, you know, getting to the point where you want to be alcohol free, that you just cut the wine out and you drink a lower percentage, whether that's a lager or a cider. There are some great low and no alcohol drinks now. You know, when you change your drink, when you lower the percentage, you are reducing the risk. It's also about drinking slower. You know, if you are somebody historically that when you drink fast, learning how to drink slower is going to help you, yeah? The bottom line is alcohol is a powerful drug that is harmful. So less is more. when we think about drug use and reducing the harm, we think about appropriate use of the drug. And when we think about alcohol, we think about in the context of it's a social drug. So having a drink with friends, yeah? And what you need to be careful of is if you're somebody that's sort of playing around with these sort of rules and balancing things out, is that your social drink doesn't turn into every night and it is more than just a drink, yeah? So a lot of this is also about unpicking and understanding your own patterns. Now, a lot of the people I work with, so I've been doing this work for 20 years, I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. People come with lots of different patterns and lots of different reasons why alcohol is a problem for them. So sometimes you will see people that haven't always had a problem with alcohol, that they have historically been able to have a social drink occasionally, but then an event happens or there is a lifestyle change and they found that they are over drinking, and that's part of the symptom of what they're dealing with, you know. And that's when we're looking at, okay, what can you change? You know, how can you tackle the root cause? What happened? You know, sometimes there's an event around work-related stress or trauma or, you know, grief, retirement, you know, that real change in meaning and purpose and routine. All those types of things can create, you know, over drinking for people. So a huge part of what we do is about unpicking this and understanding your own patterns and then making changes so it's then easier for yourself, yeah? Now, one of my favorite things about alcohol-free time, the longer you have alcohol-free time, the better, because then you get to experience life without alcohol and you get to deal with weddings, funerals, arguments, stressful events, difficult jobs, difficult people, good things, bad things, you know, all that lovely, rich tapestry of life. And you start doing that without your favorite coping mechanism, you are creating new habits, you're creating new neural pathways. We have neuroplasticity, and anybody who has done at least a year alcohol free will know exactly what I'm talking about, because the more you experience life in all its glory, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, the easier it is to, as time goes on, to deal with these things. So even when life is difficult, when you're alcohol free and you've got a good chunk of alcohol free time there, you know how to handle it, and you just wouldn't drink on it because you know that alcohol is going to make things 10 times worse if you are somebody that would drink more than one drink, yeah? So a lot of this is, can you learn how to have one drink? Is about the risk and impact, is about your own mindset, is about your personal situation, is about your drinking pattern and your drinking history. It's about the changes that you're making. But another really big thing that I would say to you is, usually when people are listening to me or they're working with me, it's because alcohol has been a problem for them and they're making changes so it's no longer a problem. I encourage people to stay focused in the here and now. So why is alcohol a problem for you? What do you want to do about it? Let's work on that until you feel good about that. Could take 3 months, could take 6 months, could take 3 years, who knows? And then let's tackle this question further down the line, because you're going to be in a completely different place. It's going to be a completely different conversation. Any questions, let me know.